I wasn't to be an automatic handyman ad writer and run a handyman business. Before I was in the handyman and maid business, I actually was a social worker. I worked hard. I played hard. I had 3 little kids. And when my husband left his full-time job as a Harley Davidson mechanic, and I left my full-time job as a social worker, a caseworker with people with intellectual disabilities, we had to make this business work. We got tired of people pushing us around and telling us how to live our lives. The day that really changed it all, when we decided we wanted to start a handyman and a maid business, was my daughter. She was 10 years old. She's our youngest daughter, and she's really into sports. And it was her first softball game. And at the time, I really loved wine. No, it's not wine in here, it's coffee. So I really liked wine. So before her first softball game, I actually drank a glass of wine, kind of like this. It was a glass of wine. It had a lid on it. It was delicious. It was cranberry wine, Georgetown Winery in Georgetown, Texas. Amazing stuff. So we're so excited. It's her first softball game. She's 10 years old. She's been practicing for a couple of months. We go to the softball game, and I'm sitting there drinking my wine. My husband's watching. I pick up my phone. I'm videoing her. She's up at bat for the very first time with her long curly brown hair, and she bats and she hits a fly ball in the outfield. I hope I got that right with y'all listening. So she starts running. She hits first base. She's good. She's safe. But then the runner that's out there, the player that's out on second base, goes to third base, and she's like, I'm going to steal second base. So she takes off running. First game, first time she's ever stealing a base, slides into second. I hear the lady behind me go, that little girl just broke her ankle. I was like, no, she didn't. She's fine. She's Abby. She's fine. Video recording, half lit from my wine. And I realized she's not getting up. And I sit there. She still doesn't get up. My husband takes off for the field, and I thought, she's going to be really embarrassed because she's fine. She didn't ever get up. We're in rural Texas, and in rural Texas, they don't have ambulances at ball games like they do, rodeos. So there was no first aid kit. There was nothing to help brace her legs. She had broke her ankle. You could tell from looking at it. And we were about 30 minutes from the hospital. So we used some electrical tape and some PVC pipe. Thank God her dad's a handyman. And we wrap her up. We put her in the back of the truck, and we take her to the hospital, where we find out she has to have surgery. They couldn't just pop it back in. She wouldn't let them that night. So the next morning, I had to call into my job as a caseworker, kind of like a social worker. And then my husband had to call into his job at Harley Davidson in Waco. And he calls in, no problem. I called to my boss, and she goes, did you get your notes done from yesterday? And I said, no, I was going to put them in today. I said, but I'll put them in, when I come back to work. And she goes, well, what are you doing right now? And I said, they're wheeling my daughter into surgery as we speak. And she goes, well, you got your BlackBerry? And I said, yeah. She goes, why don't you type in your notes now? So I hung up that phone. And during that 2-hour wait while our daughter was in surgery, we decided that nobody else was going to have a voice in our lives. And we decided 3 weeks later, Max left his full-time job for this little bitty handyman business that we created. 3 months later, I got to leave my full-time job and do my handyman, part of the handyman business. And it's been that way from then. But I knew that I had to keep our calendar full because we didn't have the option of failing because we had 3 little kids and one of them with a broken ankle that we had to take care of. So I had to dive in and figure out how to write an ad that converts, because when we started our handyman business in the Waco, Texas area, there was 3 other handymen. Now there is a fixer-upper effect. Yes, I've met Chip and Joanna Gaines. Yes, I've been in those fixer-upper houses. And yes, I've been to silos a couple of times. Those are some of the most frequently asked questions when you're from Waco, Texas. And now there's 750 handyman, not to include the maid services, the construction services, all those that are around the area, trying to get their minute of fame with the fixer uppers. So I had to be totally different, because during the time that we built our business, this fixer upper effect has hit Waco. So we went from competition of a couple of guys, you know, in a truck to where there's over 750 handyman. So I had to learn how to use Facebook, because we didn't have a lot of money, because we didn't have any extra money coming in other than the handyman business to be able to survive. And from learning to do that, my 2nd year in business, Max and I hit $1.25 million in sales from a lot of trial and error. And it actually wasn't profitable at that amount. So I was just throwing mud at the wall, seeing what would stick. So make sure with your social media page that you invite your friends and ask them, share your page on your personal page and ask them to share, like, and comment. Say, you know, you might not buy from my small business, but if you could like, share, and comment on my post, that'll help me just as much as you purchasing something from me. So what's the purpose of writing a Facebook post? We're going to go right into it. It's a lot of meat and potatoes today. You're going to want to take notes. And if you have any questions, I will have time at the end to answer those questions. So how to write a Facebook ad, how to get attention, because you can write all the Facebook ads in the world, but you've got to remember, yesterday we talked about your target market. You've got to get them to stop their scroll. When they're sitting on the potty, scrolling on social media, on Facebook usually, seeing what their friends are doing, watching the latest videos, or seeing the ads that we write, you've got to stop them, grab their attention, and pull them in. The average customer in 2021 has to see your brand 16 times before they call you for the first time. A lot different than 20 years ago that they had to see you 3 times before they called you the first time. So those are a couple of things to keep in your mind as you're building your ad copy. You want to stop their scroll. So that's why you have to know who is your target market. So I'm going to just tell you guys, the target market that I go after is Gen X families that they want to do residential work. They want to do work on their houses. So that is who I specifically market towards. I also know it is the woman that makes the decisions, but it's the man that gets the ideas and gives them to the woman. So while he's sitting there, number 2, I got to stop his scroll. I got to get him to stop and look, because he stops, he calls me, and he sets the free estimate. So that is who I market towards for the handyman business. If you're talking the maid business, I'm marketing towards the woman every time, except around the holiday season. So when I run the ads on Facebook, I do not go just after men or just after women unless it's the holiday time. So you have to stop their scroll. So the men usually are the ones that, you know, take care of the home improvements and home repairs. That's who I've got to stop their scroll. So I need something in a man's brain that's going to stop their scroll. So I had to change the learning curve for me. It couldn't be just towards women. So there's two things on a Facebook ad that you need to have. One is a question, and two is a picture. If you don't have pictures of your work, you need to go online to hootsuite.com or canva.com and pull some of those ads off, some of those pictures off of those that are free that you're not going to get in trouble for using because you're using their service. So the purpose of a Facebook post, it's not the same as radio, TV, billboard, magazines. It is to stop their scroll. When they're sitting on the stinking toilet or they're sitting on the sofa at night looking through social media. You want something that's going to stop them in their tracks and pull them in. That's the purpose of your Facebook post. It's not just to do this or be roses and butterfly. It is to stop them and pull them into your ad over and over and over again. And how you do that? Your niche market, you have to grab their attention. So if your target market is millennials or Generation Y, even younger than millennials, they're coming up, right? If your target market is them, you can't put a picture of a family with gray hair. Why? Because they're not going to resonate with that. If your target market is Generation Y or millennials and it's busy families that you're going after, you want to have a picture that's going to catch the attention of a busy family in that age range. What will catch their attention? Babies, old women, puppies, or handyman picture fails that have gone awry. Also pictures of the work that you have done. I do that over and over and over again every single day, and I get people to stop their scrolls. You want to stop their scroll when they're in that Facebook news feed and think about what it is that you've written a question to. Now, you don't want a yes or no question. You want something that's going to make them think. You want a picture that's going to stop their attention. When you're scrolling through stinking Facebook, if your target market is somebody like you, what stops your scroll? What gets you to stop and think? What do you look at? You need to look at other handyman ads to see what works for you. If you're a roofer, roofing ads. If you're a maid business, maid ads. Look at other ads that stop your scroll. When you're in the grocery store in the line, do people still go to the grocery store? I assume they do. When they go to the grocery store, look at those ads that catch your attention, because it's not just a Facebook ad that catches your attention, it's other ads. Now, I did not know where to look in the beginning. I had no clue where Handyman hung out online or what Handyman did. So I just started Googling it. So let me share my screen. I started Googling handyman ads, and I came across the family handyman. And I realized pretty quickly that this is somewhere that I could model after. So this is actually where I learned that there's a season to the handyman business. Right now, what are our customers looking for? I'm talking residential home customers. They're looking now, they're in holiday mode. They're looking for things to make their house nicer around the holidays before those guests show up. All their family arrives and they don't want to look at the ratty floor that the dog chewed up or the drywall hole that the kids made when they were wrestling last week. So you want to think like your customers. So Family Handyman has paid hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars on research. And they have also a magazine that comes out every single month. So I started looking at my Family Handyman magazine, and I started noticing that there's a pattern. If I put in Handyman for December, this is what comes up. I assume most of them are for December handyman, family handyman, for as long as it's been going on. So there's a pattern, especially in this first row. People are starting to think about the new year and organization for the holidays. So storage drawers, 3 different years they've run it, 3 or 4 years, just from looking off the top of my head, 3 or 4 years they've done storage drawers. That tells me that that's something the customers want if they've got them several ways. Then they've got bookcases, another way to have storage, right? Bookcase with a bed. Also, people are starting to think about staying in their house. Fireplaces are huge this time of year. Also, people are gearing up to do remodeling for January, February, and March. So those are a couple of things that you could just pick the brain of the family handyman and see what's going on, because there's a season in the handyman business. You can't really advertise in Minnesota to build a deck in November, December, January, February, or even March. You're going to just be wasting money. You're wasting your post, right? But people are interested in Minnesota and getting that fireplace going, or building storage, or remodeling the inside of their home. They're not really looking for outdoor entertainment this time of year. So no, there's a season to every business that you're in. Same with maids, same with roofers, same with contractors, same with retail, actually. So you need to know what seasons you're in. And if you don't know, just start Googling, what do handymen do in December for jobs? Oh, wow. There's a ton of different lists. Here's one: how to become a handyman, how to handyman tasks that you might not be taking care of, 10 profitable handyman services. So you can find these things out. You probably want to go under all, not just pictures, for winter projects for your handyman. Click on that. Cleaning out gutters, definitely, before the snow falls. Installing holiday lights. We've had a ton of calls for that recently. Weatherproofing up north, and winterizing your outdoor irrigation and gutter cleaning. So that tells me I probably should be advertising that stuff. So that gives me 4 or 5 things to advertise over the next 6 weeks. What can you do to catch their attention? Now, would you stop at somebody opening up or cleaning out gutters? You probably would as a handyman, right? Installing holiday lights. I like to show pictures of people falling off ladders, because the psychology behind that will get people to click on that ad. They like seeing fails. Videos are huge also, and no handyman I've seen is advertising that. Weatherproofing, winterizing. You can do live videos showing you doing the work, and also pictures after, and write an ad for that. So you have to get their attention. Think about when you're on a beach and you're just walking around and there's tons of sand around you, but you see this beautiful shell. You stop, you lean over, you pick it up. If the shell was covered with all the sand or all the noise on social media, you wouldn't stop and pick it up. It has to be something they're interested in. Somebody that's not interested in shells is going to go over to that jellyfish instead to check out the dead jellyfish. So you have to keep that in mind. You have to keep your target market in mind when you're building ads to stop and get their attention. Think about what would stop you in your tracks. Well, Christy, I'm not really my target market because I'm a handyman. I do it yourself. Well, you're right. Maybe you need to talk to your wife. Maybe you need to talk to your brother that's not handy. Maybe you need to pick up the phone and call me just real quick so I can give you a couple of ideas. If you don't know how to stop somebody's attention, ask, how do I stop my target market's attention? You know, if you ask yourself the wrong question, you're going to get an answer that's not going to help you build your Facebook following on Facebook. Like, how you need to ask yourself the right question. How do I get people's attention on Facebook? Not how do I write $1 million ad? How do I write a $50,000 ad? How do I get people's attention on social media? How do they get your attention? You can't make it complicated either. You need to keep it simple. You need to have a simple solution to stop and get their attention. One that would be a big attention getter right now is a stove that catches on fire. A dishwasher that gets clogged up and they can't clean the holiday dishes. A stove that you think it works, but it doesn't cook the holiday turkey, so they're eating dinner at midnight. Garbage disposal that gets clogged up around the holiday season. These are all ideas for ads for you to run. You want to share good content. So possibly you share how to change out a garbage disposal. On my YouTube channel, I've got 100,000 views by an impromptu garbage disposal change out that my husband did. What's that mean? We needed a new garbage disposal, so I grabbed my stinking phone and I videoed my husband changing the garbage disposal. It is not high quality advertising by any means. It converted on YouTube. It didn't convert well on Facebook. But it had my boxer going up in there when my husband was changing the garbage disposal. He was helping him. He drug some stuff off while he was changing the garbage disposal. He acted like he was going to help him. He didn't help him at all. He just made the video longer and I had to cut him out. But I couldn't cut him out of all of it. So that ad in the last year, over 100,000 views on our YouTube channel. Just insane. Videos work, especially for men, if men are your target market, because that's what they're doing every night is they're sitting on the sofa. They're doing this. They're sitting at one end of the sofa, mom's on the other end, and there's probably a kid or a dog in between them. When there's commercials or if the wife has something on TV he's not interested in, he's scrolling. He might have his headphone in, so wife doesn't know he's on his phone, right? He's watching videos, wife doesn't care, she's doing her own thing, and he comes across a video and he's like, oh my gosh, you gotta see this, honey. I'm good, I don't need to see your video. This is what goes on in the Ogle House and every other house in America. I'm good. And he goes, no, you've got to see this. I'm like, I'm okay, I'll watch it later. Just send it to me, Messenger. No, watch it now. We want to have a happy home in the Ogle House. So I watched the video and I'm looking at it and it's an alligator attached to the bottom of a fishing line. That totally freaks me out because I'm totally scared of alligators. And so I watched the video, I laugh and chuckle. What kind of video can you make that happens? Honey, I just saw this crazy video about garbage disposals on Facebook. How's ours? Like, we don't want it to go out for Thanksgiving or Christmas. That's how it happens in America. You've got to stop their scrolling. You've got to share good content. Well, Christy, you change out garbage disposals. So why would you want to show people how to do it? It's a quick 15-minute video. Max knows what he's doing. It takes him in and out like that for a garbage disposal, right? But once people start watching that video, they realize, I don't want to change out a garbage disposal. It's a little bit above my handyman skills. So they will call us because we've added value. We've done that with changing out ceiling fans, repairing holes in walls. Even I've changed drywall, building this, that, and the other, building a pergola, watching paint dry, fixing a hole in, like, the list goes on and on. You've got to share good content. And to take that to the next level is that contextual content marketing that you want to use. Local marketing. If your kid's involved in the local basketball team or football team or baseball team or soccer team or choir or karate, put that stuff up there. If you're going to a local event that thousands of people go to or hundreds of people go to in your area, share a little bit about that event. Well, I'm going to show my kids on social media. I'm not saying to share your kids' picture on social media. I'm saying take pictures of the event that you're at and share it to show them you're in your local market. We have videos about why we love Waco, Texas on our YouTube and our Facebook channel, so people know we live and work in the area. Contextual content marketing, they're going to use somebody local over somebody that comes in from out of town. We've been praying always for, the hailstorm that hits Waco, Texas, that, it's come around every 2 or 3 years. And what happens is the storm chasers go around. And it's for roofing and handyman and construction. And when Hurricane Harvey hit the coast, a ton of people from out of the area flooded those areas. They flooded from Houston to Corpus to everywhere in between, and all over the coast of Texas. And what happened was they messed around a lot of the locals, and those people that came in for that terrible storm in Central Texas 3 years ago, or the West fertilizer plant. It was like a bomb that went off. People came from out of town and they screwed a lot of the local people. So they will never use somebody that's from out of town again. So if you have that contextual content marketing, they're going to use a local company over and over and over again before they use some outsider from out of town. And they'll even pay a little bit more to use a local company instead of somebody that's come from out of town. And it's like if you were smart, you create raving fans with your Facebook page, and you get this kind of massive following from the contextual content marketing. You want to pay attention who interacts with your page. You want to make sure, and if those people are liking your post and they're liking your Facebook page, that if they have a business, you're liking their stuff and you're commenting too. Well, Chrissy, how would I know? Notifications on Facebook. That's how you create raving fans. That's how I have Kathy, one of my customers, very first customers from 8 years ago when we painted her house. She's 2 or 3 houses in now to new houses, and she still calls sometimes spouse every single time that she needs something done. So pay attention who interacts with your page. I interact with Kathy. Kathy interacts with me, and we're very, very, I've seen her and her husband move. She's seen my husband and I grow. They've seen my children grow up. Pay attention who interacts with your page and interact with them. So many people are like, well, I want to be the person that likes everything. Really? Is it hurting your finger? Like and share their page. Also, get in with advertisers in the area. Like and share their stuff. That's how I got in with Matt Blackwell with Locals Love Us. And I started liking and sharing his stuff. And then we became really, really good friends. So like and share, like and share, like and share their stuff. And then add value. Give them something no other business like yours is giving them. Add value of some sort. When you add value, they're going to come back to you over and over again, even when there's a winter. That's how we grew our handyman business during a global pandemic, was we created raving fans that use us over and over and over and over again and recommend us to our friends, no matter what is going on in our world. It's a simple formula. Create good content. Observe what works, and then post again on what works. Us as entrepreneurs and business owners, we get so tired of hearing the same things over and over and over again. But remember, this could be that customer's first time hearing it. I've never had a customer say, because I rinse and recycle my ads over and over and over again, year after year after year. I use the same pictures, the same fonts. I use the same stories. And they come back over and over and over again. I've never had a customer go, Christy, you ran that ad before. Think about Puppy Monkey Baby. Super Bowl 2018, maybe 2019. There was this ad that was run. And I thought it was terrible, but it caught my attention. It was back before I knew what I know now about marketing. And it was this puppy, this monkey, and this baby put together. Three of the things that stops people's scrolls all rolled into one. Puppy, monkey, baby. It was a Doritos commercial. And it was one of the best ads ever because they combined puppy, monkey, baby on their ad, and it took off. So over and over again, I will say puppy, monkey, baby, because you want something that stops their scroll. I thought it was this terrible ad, and here it is. There's that stupid puppy, monkey, baby, and I believe it was Doritos. It was either Doritos or Mountain Dew. It was a Doritos and Mountain Dew ad. Sorry, I got a little bit off topic here. I didn't plan for this today. But I mean, look at that. Puppy, monkey, baby. It stops your scroll. They ran that ad during the Super Bowl. They didn't just run it once. They ran it over and over and over again. I was watching football last weekend and I saw this stinking ad and I thought, they've had that ad running for 3 or 4 years. Nobody calls Mountain Dew or Doritos and says, you know what? I'm really sick of seeing the puppy, monkey, baby. Can you quit running it? No, they keep running it because they do it over and over and over again. Think about McDonald's. Do they run the ad once on television or Facebook and then they don't run it again? No, how you get in the minds and hearts of your potential customers is running an ad that stops their scroll over and over and over again. Well, Christy, I don't have a puppy, monkey, baby around. That's okay. You can come up with something like puppy, monkey, baby that stops their scroll. You see this on social media, you cannot tell me it's not going to stop your scroll. You have to come up with something, a question, a picture that stops them. It took me hundreds of thousands of dollars and almost a decade's worth of time to figure out what stopping their scroll actually meant. It's like puppy, monkey, baby. You want to write a post, an ad. I'm using post and ad as the same thing. We're not paying for advertising, but we're writing a post on Facebook to advertise. You want to think in terms of what can I ask the customer that provokes them to stop on this picture? What can you do? The ad is no good if you can't get somebody to pay attention to it. You can write ads all day long and put them up on your social media, but if you can't get somebody to stop their scroll and look at it and pay attention to you, it's not going to work. And you can't sell in every post. That's why I said contextual content marketing. Share where you're at. I've shared homestead heritage, the silos, different restaurants in Waco, different businesses that we utilize in the area on my Facebook page. You've got to do things that's going to get your customers to pay attention to your page, even when you're not selling to them. My rule of thumb is for advertising is 85 to 90% content and 10 to 15% sell or ads. So you've got to create valuable content as a handyman. Well, because you don't really know how to do that. Go online, Google stuff that people want from handymen and start talking about it. Do a live. Well, because you don't like myself on video, get over it. Do you want to make more money in your handyman business, or do you want to go bankrupt and broke? Do you want to barely get by, or do you want to create $1 million business? You got to get over some of that shit, or you're going to be stuck where you're at forever. You have to grow as an individual to get to that next level. You have to help people do what they want to do to get you to that next level of life. So in conclusion, about the Facebook ads and writing them, the post, you have to have an ad purpose. I want to sell storage for the holidays. I want to sell gift certificates and make more money for the holidays. I want to keep myself busy and income coming in December and January, which are usually the slowest months in a handyman business. You need an ad purpose. You need to know why you're putting it up there, not just to throw pictures up just to have pictures or just to take up space on the page. You want to have a purpose. I want my audience to connect with me. That's why I'm doing contextual content marketing, and I'm showing them the basketball game I'm sitting at tonight because it affords me this lifestyle to sit here and watch my kids. You need a picture that's going to stop their attention. It could be of your work, which most handymen don't share their work because they think I don't take good enough pictures. You can edit that stuff, and in a future training, I'll show you guys how to do it. Super simple. A picture, what's the purpose? And then just share that content on your Facebook business page. Pay attention to how your audience reacts. Did you get any likes? Did you get any shares? Did you get anything else? Did people like it? Did they share? Did they comment? Ask questions. Great questions to ask this time of year or about Thanksgiving. Are you excited about family coming over for the holidays? What honeydews do you need done before they arrive? And a picture of a floor that's all tore up or a kitchen that's all tore up. Maybe they were doing it themselves and they ran out of time and they need your help. Value first, and then you receive value later from them. Canva.com, Hootsuite.com. There's so many different places out there to create ads, but those are a couple of my favorites. Some of the most common handyman ads that people are looking for residential. I haven't done commercial because primarily residential is what I do. Not me, our handyman. You don't want me fixing a drywall hole, even though I know how to do it. It'll take me forever, and it probably won't be perfect. But our guys do it great. The most common handyman things are drywall, smart home upgrades, painting, interior and exterior. That means inside and outside. When I'm talking to a customer, I don't want to say interior and exterior because that's not how they look at their house. It's inside and outside. They might not say drywall. A woman would say a hole in the wall. They might not even say sheetrock. A smart home upgrade, they probably won't say that either. They'll say, I want to get a Ring camera outside. I want to get a Ring doorbell. I want to get video surveillance for my home. I want to get a Nest for my home. So these are some things to keep in mind when you're talking to the customer. Don't use your verbiage, use theirs. Don't use mine, use yours. Power washing is also another big one in the fall and in the spring. So those are a couple of things, but I want to write a post live with you right now. And can I have your permission to do that? If you've got to get off of here, I totally understand. We've been going for about 45 minutes on a Sunday, having you work on a Sunday. But can I have your permission to just go ahead and write that ad? All right. Let me go ahead and start pulling up. Make sure I'm not screen sharing. Yes. You want something that's going to catch their attention. So I'm going to go after a handyman business. That's what I'm looking for this time of year. And I'm going to go to canva.com. This is one of the best ways to build an ad. So I'm going to share a screen with you. And I'm going to canva.com. And I'm going to want to create a design. So I'm going to create a design for a Facebook post. And we're going to do for the holidays because that is right around the corner. So I put in Facebook post holiday. I don't have to create it from the beginning. I don't have to. So this is an amazing way to create an ad. Let's go towards the women that they're buying for the holidays. That's what I want to do. So I like the snowman. I like the pink. It's going to catch a woman's attention a little bit more. It's only got pink and white in it. I don't like it after I clicked on it. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go back because I really don't like that. And I'm going to look for another one. Facebook post. Let's do holiday. Oh, I like this one. It's got lots of pictures. Well, Chrissy, it's pictures of stuff from your kitchen. Yep. It's for a holiday sale. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go under pictures because I'm going to assume that you don't have a bunch of pictures loaded in here. What were some things for the holidays that people were doing? They were doing storage. And of course, they're not going to have any elements. So in these smaller ones, I want to just click on these and drag it over and it'll replace that picture for the kitchen store. You just click on it. And I put a pergola in one side because I'm writing it for a bigger dollar. I'm not doing this just for gift cards. If you're a roofer, you can also put in roof. Oh my gosh, they have a ton of pictures of roofs. I want to show my flexibility though as a handyman. So I do know that bathroom remodels are big in January. So I'm going to use this ad right here. I'm going to scoot it over a little bit so I can see my handyman in the ad also. And back to that. There's a really good handyman picture right there. I'm going to use that. I'm going to take that Christmas tree out. I'm going to put this handyman. You know what? No, I'm going to go back to that Christmas tree because I have a handyman there, so I don't need two of them. But I also need to think about what I'm going to say with the ad because I'm just creating the picture here. holiday gifts that create memories, because I want them to stop and look at this. That's something that's very important to parents, is to create memories. And I don't give a percentage off. What I would say is get a free estimate today for your holiday build. So I've got on here a pergola, so that says that we do pergolas. I have on here a deck, so that says that we do decks. And I've also got a bathroom remodel, which is gearing me up to be busy around the holidays. Now the post is one thing. I can't just put this up there and expect people to start calling me. But what I can do is I can put this ad up with some verbiage. Remember, we have the picture that's going to stop their scroll. They're going to wonder why there's a guy standing in the bathroom and stop their scroll. I want to ask a question. Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Yes, that's what everybody's looking for this time of year. Why not get a gift that creates memories for a lifetime, like a pergola, deck, or minor home remodel? Here's another thing you need in this ad, in this Facebook post. You can't just put that and the name of your company. Call now for a free estimate. Limited availability for the holidays. Put your phone number, your website in there. Love where you live. Make memories that last. Because these people are opening up gifts that they're going to be tossed aside in a week, a month, a year. But a pergola, a deck, a bathroom, that lasts for a lifetime. Well, Christy, you wrote that really, really quickly. Well, I've got 10 years of advertising experience. I know my target market. I know it's going to stop their scroll. I know they want pergolas. I know they want decks. I know this time of year they're wanting bathroom remodels. They're spending more time at home. All you have to do is whatever you're good at is swap it out. If you're good at fireplaces, take out my deck. Put a fireplace over there. If you're good at building bookcases, because that's another big thing around the holidays, get a better picture of a bookcase right there. Well, Christy, I hate doing bathroom remodels. What about a smart home? Bam, a whole different ad. You could change this up and get 5 or 6 different ads with this still in there. That should be the name of your business. I just put handyman in there. And then create memories. That's going to stop the scroll of the woman who does primarily all of the holiday shopping. It'll also stop the scroll for a man that doesn't have a clue what he's going to get his wife, because she just goes out and buys everything. Holiday gifts that keep on giving, memories that are made, family is important to these people. If you're going towards commercial services, it's a totally different kind of advertising ballgame than I'm talking here today. We're primarily talking for residential handyman businesses. There's a ton of pictures. There's photos in here. There's graphics that you can use. There's also audio files that you can pull from. There's videos that you can pull from. Canva.com, you can get it for free, but I pay $12.95 a month to have access as a pro to all of these other things. It's way cheaper than hiring a photographer and a marketing company. Remember, outsourcing your marketing is like outsourcing your sex life. Do it yourself. That's where all the fun is. I'm Christy Ogle. Thank you guys for joining us for how to catch attention, how to grab attention of your audience on Facebook. You guys have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. at noon.